This week on the Happy Monster Cast, the Legion of Liberty protect a defector from the mysterious Order of the Seventh Circle. Previously on the Happy Monster Cast, the Continental Army has formed the Legion of Liberty, a unit of superhumans fighting for freedom from the British Crown. Elijah Allen, Master of Mind Control. Artemis Crow, Invisible Assassin. Patanoit, the Wampanoag Swamp Monster. Clara Washington, Super Soldier. And Victoria Spellman, the Human Cannon. The Legion has infiltrated British-occupied Newport in search of missing courier Reuben Sacker, only to find a spy wanting to defect from a secret society known as the Order of the Seventh Circle. So you are undercover in British-occupied Newport, Rhode Island, and you were sent there to recover a courier who went missing off of a ship from France.
And the guy in the basement.
Yep, and your investigations led you to this dilapidated house outside of Newport, where you met someone who says he is Barnabas Mabbott, an operative of something called the Order of the Seventh Circle, which apparently is going to do horrible things, although he wasn't very specific yet about what those horrible things were, in the interest of British supremacy. And this guy wants to defect.
That's what he told us.
Yeah. At least that's what he told you.
Yeah. Did we all check him? Like, do we believe him? Notice rolls, whatever?
So far, those of you who have attempted notice rolls on him do believe that he is being straight with you.
Okay.
With that said, it's not a perfect skill. And even worse, you hear people coming up the road towards you.
I mean,
yes.
That's right.
It's pretty suspicious when he said the person we're looking for is in the basement, too. So that doesn't sound great.
Flame on.
So you have about a round to prepare yourselves or to take any other action you'd like to take before the approaching people arrive. You could spend a turn concentrating to give you a boost on your powers. You could take cover inside the building or some other combination thereof.
Well,
we have a sense of how many people are coming.
I think you did already Swamp Thing. Did you already Swamp Thing?
I did. I am learning my lesson on that one slowly.
Okay. What's the best defensive posture we've got?
Well, I mean, there's
insider.
You could certainly be shooting out through the windows and such. That's you've got some cover with the building. That's always a plus.
I guess I do have a rifle.
I'm gonna move in the house a little bit, and we know someone's coming, right? We're all aware of that.
You're all aware of that.
Yeah.
A comment, just pay attention to his demeanor, and then I'll comment something like, "You expecting guests?"
No, I am certainly not. But I fear that members of the Order may have tracked me down, possibly following you.
Show me, what's the guy's name that we're looking for?
The courier?
Yeah.
Let's just call him upstairs.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm afraid I have him bound in the basement.
Cut him loose.
Well, I can because I didn't want him getting loose. But I can certainly go get Mr. Sacker if that's what you want me to do.
Yes, I'll follow you.
Okay, so
follow with my gun drawn.
Okay, well that'll take effect in the next round. So Victoria went in the house. Artemis, make an invisibility roll. This is definitely a stressful situation. Pet Noah, what are you doing? I will allow you to have been concentrating, so you are invisible.
Okay. Now, do we know which way they're coming from?
They're coming up the path here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get myself behind this tree.
That also succeeds with concentration. What skill or trait are you boosting?
For me, I'm going to boost my shooting.
Okay. You also want to move while you're at it.
Yeah, let's go in the house and pick a window.
Okay, your shooting is boosted. So take your position in the house. You want to take the other window?
I had moved, no?
No.
Okay.
You want the other window that Victoria isn't using?
Sure. How do I move myself? I can't just click.
You should be able to click and drag.
Yeah, that's not I can see it trying. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So you guys are all set up. Mabbit goes over, opens this door, heads in here.
Following right behind him.
Okay. So you can see the staircase there. You can move a little further if you want.
I'm going to keep following him. I'm going to be right behind him.
Okay. And as you do that, you see people approaching.
Not me, because I'm in the other room, right?
No, you don't, but everyone who's outside does. Well, you saw them coming anyway. There seem to be about a dozen of them. As they get closer, you can tell that there are, in fact, 11 of them coming in.
That's a lot.
There's a guy out front who's approaching the house. He clearly sees you. And then there's a bunch of other guys. And then he's got a little troop following up. Okay. And so let's see. Pet Noah, you're swamp thinged out. You're swamp thinged out, right?
Correct.
Okay, which means that you're quite recognizable. And you hear the guy.
To be a tree. Close your eyes and mouth. They won't notice you.
Awesome.
I'm a goddamn shrub. Move along.
Nice.
They're not buying it. So.
Try persuasion.
Try persuasion.
Can I roll that?
It would be performance.
Yeah, I believe that would be untrained.
Really?
Well, method acting.
I mean, it's better than not. I
don't know. I wouldn't.
So the guy sees Pet Noah, and he says, "Blast! Legionnaires! Keep them busy while I deal with the traitor." And that will put us into combat.
Of course it will. Are they redcoats?
They are not. They are all dressed as civilians.
They're great.
Did we put them? Are they on the board?
They are kind of off the map to the right because they're a little further away than I made the map for them. But
right.
Okay.
That's okay.
I can't see him.
No,
Sorry.
don't worry.
Okay, Artemis, you are first to act. I'm going to put them. Whoops, I'm not moving all of you. I'm going to put the lead guy on the map now to reflect that he's gotten close enough in the dark to see you.
These guys,
and there's a whole bunch of them. There's a whole bunch more guys behind them. This guy, the guy out front, is packing a saber, and the ones behind him are carrying flintlocks and have clubs slung at their waist.
Flintlocks, you said?
Flintlock pistols, yes.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So without being able to see you, they're standing like right behind him, right?
They're standing right behind him. Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to get right up in front of him, and I am going to send a bolt into him and into whoever's behind him.
So 2 bolts then.
Correct.
Okay. So first off, I'd like you to make a stealth roll. Against his notice.
That's good.
That's pretty good.
That is good.
Yeah.
Visible and in the dark?
Yeah, that's not going to do it for him. So, no, he does not know you're there. So you can do your 2 bolts. They will be at -2 because you are doing it twice.
Okay, I didn't realize there would be that penalties. But if I just do one right into him,
yeah,
that's just there's no penalty on that.
There is not. It's only because you're doing 2 actions that you have a penalty.
I see. Okay, well, since I'm still getting the penalty on the bolts, I will go ahead and do 2. One, give a 1-2. All right.
Okay. So 1 on him, 1 on the operative right behind him. Okay, that first one hits.
Okay. You already have the damage on that, or do I need to roll?
I already have the damage is already there,
Says a
Okay.
and it's enough to shake him.
Right. And then so bolt number 2 to the guy behind him.
Bolt number 2. Sorry, the first one missed because of the penalty for damage, but the second one did not. The second one did hit, and it was enough to shake the guy behind him.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So that will take us then to the guy you just shook. So he's going to try to unshake. And he succeeds.
Wow.
And so realizing that there's someone invisible around, he is going to attempt to shoot you. Although he's got a serious penalty on doing so. Yeah, he's not going to hit you with that. So he fires his gun. It hits the house behind you, and then he moves over this way, trying to get to a place where he can, where he's got line of sight, and actually he takes cover behind the tree, and he drops his flintlock and pulls out his club in case Pet Noet gets busy. Okay, next up is another one of these guys. He is going to move over here and take a shot at Pet Noet. That will hit because Pet Noet's not in cover at the moment.
Ow.
Hmm.
Ow.
Well,
So that is for 8 damage, which is just enough to shake you. Although, wait, I can't remember. Do you get some extra toughness when you're converted? You do, right?
I think I do.
Yeah, you get armor 3.
pretty significant.
So no, it goes right off your armor. At some point, I'll automate that. But yeah, you have a toughness of 10 right now, so that doesn't do a thing. It just ricochets off your
Nice.
body. He looks a little nonplussed, and he also draws his club. Next up is another one of these guys. He is going to I'll do kind of the same thing. No, he's going to run over here and flank his buddy, and also draw his club because they're really kind of worried about what Pet Noet's going to do. And that brings us to the guy you just tried to bolt. And he is going to also bolt. So he sends a blast of light energy over to Pet Noet. Why does he have 2 wounds? Should not have 2 wounds. Which will hit, and which he empowered. That is going to sting. That's going to sting some. So that will shake you and do a wound. Would you like to soak?
Yes, please. Hold on 1 second while I go and find the soak button. I know there was a soak button.
It's the one that looks like a heart down on your macro board, or you can just make a vigor roll. And don't forget to spend a penny.
All right, hold on 1 second here. I feel like we changed the interface again. Where are the bennies now?
They're on the players thing, or they're on your character sheet. And yes, they did change the interface again.
All right, well, let's do that. Okay, so clicking the soak roll is not doing anything for me, so let's make a vigor roll.
Yeah, with the upgrade of the base system, some of the macros broke, and I thought I'd fix them all, but maybe I haven't.
What am I missing here?
Are you in your character sheet?
I am.
Just click on the word vigor.
Oh, I'm clicking on the die. That's the problem.
Yep.
Roll.
Yeah, you're fine.
Nice.
So you just kind of hulk up a little bit, you bulk up, and this bolt of light hits you and splashes across your swampy surface with no effect. The guy runs over to the door. The guy runs for the door, which means that he has left engagement with Artemis, which means, Artemis, you can make a free melee attack against him if you wish.
Oh, yes, please. Yes, please. Which melee am I going to use? I'm going to stab him in the neck.
Stab away.
Wow.
That does hit just barely, but you just catch the back of his coat as he's running away and slash through it without damaging him.
Bastard.
You really needed the raise on that one. All right, next up is another one of these dudes.
Lord.
And he's
There are
going to
11
run
of
over
them.
here. Well, there's 10 of these guys, and there's one of the other. So he's going to take a shot at Pet Noet, who does have cover this time because he's not all the way around the tree. That does hit, but again, the bullet just ricochets off, and these guys are starting to look a little bit anxious. Okay, next up is Elijah. So you're following this Mabbit guy, but you can also see this new guy at the door.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I'll tell them, hold up a second, and I'll step back one and then shoot through the door at that guy.
Okay.
Click the shooting. That's right.
Or just click the button next to your weapon. That works too.
Ooh. Nice. Okay. Isn't there damage on here?
That's why you want to click the weapon instead of clicking shooting.
Sorry.
Just click next to the weapon and we'll take the damage roll.
Okay.
With the raise.
Ooh. Wait, critical failure?
No, but that doesn't count because you already made the shooting roll. So instead, you get the 24 damage.
Nice.
That is going to sting a lot. That might actually take him down. So he's definitely going to be soaking that, as it is 4 wounds.
Nice.
That's pretty good. So he's wounded and shaken. But he soaked 2 out of 4 wounds. Yeah, he soaked 3 out of the 4 wounds.
Well, I haven't used his bennies, so
you definitely punched through his arm, and he's not a happy camper. And you made him use a Benny. Yeah. Okay, next up is Clara. You can also see this guy at the door, and as well as you can see the operatives outside.
I feel like I should shoot for the leader. Guy who's trying to make his way into
Now he has cover against you shooting at him because you're kind of at a weird angle to him unless you step further into the room.
Can I do that all in one move?
You absolutely can move and shoot. You could even move, shoot, and move back to the window if you wanted.
All right, let's do that. How far back do I have to step? Like 1?
Like 2,
Like
but
here.
just don't bother because you're just going to move back, shoot, and move right where you were.
Okay.
So click on the weapon.
Click on the weapon. So at this range, I would probably... The brown vest is 2 scatter shot, right?
No, the brown. Well, all non-rifled flintlock weapons are terrible when it comes to accuracy. But at 10 paces, which is or at 10 feet,
I should be able to hit him just fine.
10 feet. You've got a pretty decent. You're not exactly suffering from a range problem there. Yeah,
I think I might have hit him.
That does hit. And it will do another wound, which he is again going to try to soak. And he does.
Oof.
We are making this guy run through his bennies.
Yeah, you're definitely messing this guy up. Okay, next up is another one of these operative dudes. He now knows that the guy yells, "There's more in the building!"
How could he tell?
Because you just shot him.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Good
You
Lord.
kind of noticed the people shooting at him.
Huh.
So this guy's going to charge up here. And then he sees you kind of through the window, through the door. So he's going to shoot at you, although you have cover. So that's going to help you deal with that. Although that's a pretty darn good shot. So even with cover, that hits for 9 damage, which is enough to shake you.
Not bad.
So it kind of flies right by your head and shatters part of the window, and you're taken aback by that near miss. All
So
right.
much for my steely nerves.
Next up is another one of these guys. Next up is Mr. Mabbott. And he says, "You still want me to get your friend?"
No, hold tight and guard the door with me.
He says, "Right." So he steps over kind of behind you and looking over your shoulder, he is going to take a shot at the guy in the door. And it's a pretty darn good shot.
We're lighting this guy.
Everybody's shooting.
Yeah, so that is going to sting some. What's the range on this, though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on a flintlock is... So that's medium range. With cover, he just hits, so it's the 19, not the 21. That's still a whole lot of wounds, and he does not have the ability to soak them anymore.
Finally.
So he goes down.
Yes.
He's getting tired. He's getting tired.
We're exhausted.
After the 19th hit, he's getting tired.
And when he goes down, the rest of them run. One of them, this guy grabs him and kind of throws him over his shoulder, and they make a run for it.
Can I get an opportunity? Attack opportunity as they go by?
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Can I chuck a spear at them?
You absolutely can. So I'll give you each a shot. I'll give you each a shot at them, and Victoria as well if she wants to blast as they're running away.
Okay.
Start with Victoria because she would have been next in turn. Or sorry, start with Pet Noah. He would have been next in turn order.
Okay.
All right. You drop one of these guys. You hurl the spear and it just goes right through the guy, and he goes down.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was aiming for dude who was carrying other dude.
Yeah. So this guy goes down, drops his friend.
How chivalrous.
Marathon, and somebody else picks the sword.
It is kind of a relay race situation now.
Nice.
Well, that guy seems important.
Okay, so he's down. Next up, another guy grabs him and runs. That was a lot of conditions. So next up would be Victoria. That is sufficient to activate your blast. Please give me a 2d6. They are cowering in fear. Some of them are slightly on fire, and they continue to run away.
Slightly on fire.
Yeah, John.
And Artemis, you're up.
Okay, so this guy, Samuel Martins, he's being carried away.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to shoot the guy that is carrying him because I feel like it'd be a good idea to capture this guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try this again.
All right, but I'm going to shoot, not use it. I'm going to use the pistol.
That hits. You drop the guy. You drop the guy carrying him. There is the question. So extracting him could be interesting, but yeah. Okay, so he's unconscious, and the rest of them run away. So you've got 3 dead guys, plus this guy who's unconscious and badly injured. He's got a gut wound.
Okay.
And then that is the end of the combat.
Okay, so if we're out of combat, I go over and tie the guy up, tie his arms behind his back before I administer, or start to do some kind of battlefield medicine. Pull his guys.
Okay. That would probably be Pet Noah's turf. Mabbit says, "I'll go get your friend now if you want."
Yeah, took my gun away, so I'm coming too.
Okay, so he heads down the stairs. I assume you're going to accompany him.
I'm following him right behind.
I can apply some battlefield medicine. He seemed important enough that people wanted to keep him around.
Yeah.
All right, so Frankie, you're now down in the basement where there is in fact a courier tied up. So give me a healing roll, Pet Noah.
Decent.
Okay.
All right, you've stabilized him.
He'll live.
He'll live. He's not going to die immediately, but he's not real happy either, and he may or may not wake up anytime soon.
Well, right.
You also have a bunch of people.
Being unhappy.
You also have a bunch of people who are probably British sympathizers who are headed back to Newport.
I was thinking we should probably go after him.
Or does that mean we got to get out of here?
Well, you do have your boat. If you circled around Newport and got back to the landing spot for your rendezvous, you could then get your pickup from the fishermen. So you could avoid Newport entirely, and they wouldn't necessarily know where to look for you.
Right. So we came here to get the courier, which we've got.
You have
We've got some kind of a high level dude here who I think is going to be a pretty important prisoner, which we can deliver to General Washington.
Yep.
A lot of wins.
I'd say that's not a bad night's work.
Yeah.
All right. So
What shape was the courier in? Is he validating the story that the other guy said as well, that he got caught?
Yeah. Yes. He's saying he's kind of not happy with Mabbit at all. This man met me under false pretenses, claiming to be a Copper Ring agent, and then kidnapped me.
That's all for the greater good. You seem all
Bloody
right.
It bloody well better be.
Does
I
seem
say
a
you
bit
seem
of a
all right.
fool, huh?
Give him a nice little slap on the face.
You want me to cuff him for you?
It's already
Generous.
tied.
So you are able to make your escape.
Nice.
And,
Well done.
and you have this prisoner, which you deliver to Washington. He's very interested to hear of this mysterious Order of the Seventh Circle, and says that he'll put his espionage teams on it immediately to see what he can discover.
Oh,
And he also informs you that there is an offensive. He's learned of an offensive by the British. They are going to try to split New England from the southern colonies by occupying the Hudson River Valley. They currently hold New York City, and they figure if they can move down from Canada and connect up along the Hudson River, then they can cut the very populous and fervent revolutionary colonies of New England off from the more divided southern colonies and do a little divide and conquer action. So he's going to deploy you to the command of Major General Horatio Gates, who is commanding the defense at Saratoga, and that will be your next mission. But for now, we're going to hook you guys up with some advances.
Before we head to that, what of Mabbit?
Yeah.
So Mabbit, so he pretty much spills his guts on the Order of the Seventh Circle. So they're a British supremacist group. They're led by a mysterious individual known to him only as Argall, based out of London, but they have operatives, according to this guy, all over the place. He says most likely there are some spies among your Continental Army. He says that.
How will we know them?
He says, well, the full members have the tattoo, and he shows you the concentric circles tattoo, the 7 circles, usually on the ankle, but the spies among you might not be full members. And he says that there are several superhumans that are members of the order, including one name you've heard who is the most active in the colonies, and that is Cowida, the woman who argued for the British back when you were working with the Iroquois.
Okay.
She don't ever quit.
Right.
Says she is extremely dangerous, kind of Argall's right-hand woman in the colonies. And he also says that they have been capturing superhumans and doing horrifying experiments, vivisection style, on them. And that's what put him over the edge and said, I support Britain. I support, I think I support the goals of the Seventh Circle. I think Britain ruling the world would bring peace and prosperity to everyone, but I can't abide this. And so, I had to find someone that could maybe protect me, and this seemed like the best bet. So he's certainly not a revolutionary in any way. He's thoroughly loyal to the king, but he just could not deal with what he saw from the Seventh Circle.
I will implore Washington to let me have him under my command to test his mettle, as well as use any intel he could possibly give us.
Washington appreciates the suggestion, but he wants to keep this guy close to pump him for information he might be able to use to find out more about the order. The one other piece of information he finds is that the order often operates in secret out of the popular Hellfire clubs, which are publicly known as a place for the British upper class to go and slum and engage in various sorts of debauchery.
Of course.
So he thinks that the headquarters of the Seventh Circle might very well be in one of the Hellfire clubs in London.
In where?
London.
London.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they're British supremacists. Where else would their headquarters be?
Canada? Kidding.
Paris. No, they're in Paris. Yeah, that's the thing.
You can follow Happy Monster Press on Facebook as Happy Monster Press, at our website, happymonsterpress.com, Twitter as Happy Monster PRS, or follow the podcast on YouTube, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, iTunes, or Google Play Music. The Happy Monster Cast is part of the Savage Worlds Media Network. This game references the Savage Worlds game system available from Pinnacle Entertainment Group at www.peginc.com. It is unofficial media content permitted under the Media Network Content Agreement. This content is not managed, approved, or endorsed by Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Certain portions of the materials used are the intellectual property of Pinnacle and all rights are reserved. Savage Worlds, all related settings and unique characters, locations, and characters' logos and trademarks are copyrights of Pinnacle Entertainment Group. All other content is the intellectual property of Happy Monster Press. Background music is Ice Cold by Jason Shaw.
Oh, for sure.